Learn this word in Hari Katha. We should know prime cause and secondary cause. But if we say Sarup Lakshan and Tathastha Lakshan, then this needs gravity. Sarup Lakshan and Tathastha Lakshan. Sarup Lakshan means prime reason, and Tathastha Lakshan means secondary reason. In this verse, Sarup Lakshan has been described. For the Sarup Siddhi of Bhakti, Anukule means for Krishna, favorable for Krishna. Then it can be called Bhakti, which is Uttam, perfect. Bhakti not favorable for me, no. For favorable only for Krishna. That is called Anukulina. Second point is Pratikul, or Pratikul means opposite, which is against Krishna or which is against Bhakti. That cannot be called as Bhakti. So Anukul means Ruchi. Ruchikar. It's very pleasing for Krishna. Ruchikar means pleasing for Krishna. Means Anushilan in this verse means this is the endeavor, our efforts by body, mind, and words. All those efforts, all those endeavors which are pleasing for Krishna, that is called Anushilan. For Krishna, he should like, he should be pleased. Some people say this, don't. It's a question which has been raised here. Some people say that for what is pleasing for Krishna, that is Uttama Bhakti, what is pleasing for Krishna. But we will hear further the meaning of this. But so if we understand it in this way, then there has to be two concepts. Maharaj is explaining this further. If we understand this, that if at what is pleasing for Krishna, what he likes, that is bhakti, that is uttama bhakti. Then there are two faults in this: ativyapti, avyapti dosh. These are the words. These are the faults from Sanskrit. Ativyati, avyati. So let's understand these by examples. Example is in the arena of Kansa, wrestling arena, Charur and Mushti, the two great wrestlers, Charur and Mushti, they want to fight with Krishna. Mal Yudh means wrestling. They want to do wrestling with Krishna with no weapons, only with the hands. Like it's called Kushti in Hindi. It's called wrestling in English, or in simple language, WWF with Krishna. And they want to attack on Krishna's limbs. They're showing anger towards Krishna, Charur and Mushti. Now, these attacks on Krishna's body, with these attacks, Krishna likes it. He's liking it. Aha. Why he's liking it? Because Thakurji here is in relishing Veer Ras. Veer Ras means what? those who are very strong people, muscular, and they go for wrestling, they go for gym, they like to fight, physical fight with, they like to do some physical fight with some other people, like they will pick up people or they will hit people, so they like it, they like physical fight. This is like relishing veer ras. Do you ever feel like this? Veer ras aswadan, to relish veer ras, to fight with someone, not, we do not with hands but by our tongue. Stupid, nonsense, you rascal, we call like this. And if the other person gives us slangs, bad names, then we relish virus. But with limbs, with body, with hands, when Charu Mushti wants to fight with Krishna, they they're the intention of Charu and Mushti to hit Krishna, but this is giving pleasure to Krishna. He's enjoying it. Krishna. Here, the attacks by demons on Krishna, physical attack by the demons on Krishna, this Anushilan is is looking like rujikar for Krishna, like pleasing for Krishna, like Krishna is relishing this mood, these their moods. It's looking like this only, but it is not. So the point here, which can be raised, the doubt here is the attacks of these demons. How this can be pleasing to Krishna? How is it possible? For this, in Shrimad Bhagavatam, there has been one shlok. Mansi, Mansi Vane Sanam Samprahar. Samprahar means in ordinary people's eyes, okay, in normal situation, if someone comes to fight for a war, to with if you want someone comes to fight with us, like in a war, then we don't like it. We don't like it, right? If someone comes and slaps us, punch us, will we like it? We will not like it. But here Krishna is liking it. Why he's liking it? Veer Ras Aswadan. He's relishing Veer Ras. Because Sri Krishna is Veer, strong. That's why for Veer, for a strong person, such kind of attacks, such kind of fights, they relish it. They relish it. Now, here, the very important point is whenever among you, if uh, if someone describes this verse, then this point definitely you have to explain with explanation. If you do not, then the audience cannot understand this. So this we need to understand properly. That is why in fighting, in this fight with Charu Mushti, the attacks of the demons on, is pleasing for Krishna. But okay, even though Krishna is relishing this mood, but this cannot be bhakti. If this becomes bhakti, then there is a fault, ati vyapti dosh in this. Krishna, whatever is pleasing for Krishna, gives pleasure to Krishna, that is not bhakti. These wrestlers, they want to attack Krishna. Krishna is liking it, but this is not their bhakti. This is not bhakti of Charu Mukti. This is ati vyapti dosh. This is the fault here, where intention is not the service of Krishna, but Krishna is liking it. He is relishing this mood. This is ironically like complete opposite, because we always heard Atma Pritivansha Kara Bole Kam. Krishna Pritiva. We have heard this verse many times. What is pleasing for our senses, that is not love, that is lust. And whatever is pleasing for Krishna's senses, that is love. But Charur Mushti, they want to attack Krishna. They want to fight with Krishna. So Krishna is liking it as well. That means Charur Mushti are serving Krishna. But can this be considered as seva? Who wants to say yes, that yes, this is seva? Maharaj is asking. And who says this is not seva? Now everyone is raising their hands that this is not seva. This is not seva. Why this is not seva? Why this is not bhakti? Thakurji is liking it. But the one who is but the one who is giving pleasure to Krishna, his intention is not to please Krishna. His intention is to hurt Krishna. So everything is about the intention. Everything is about bhav. It's a big game of emotions and feelings and intentions and mood. It's a very important point. So Gurudev used to speak on this many years back, Hari Katha, on this point. Means demons, jealousy, it's against, their mood is against bhakti actually. The attacking of demons on Krishna is out of jealousy. That's why these efforts, this Anushilanam, they are opposite to bhakti, against bhakti. They are not bhakti. Even though Krishna is relishing this mood, but this is not called bhakti because these wrestlers' intention is to kill Krishna, not to serve or please Krishna. But Krishna is liking it. It can be called that there is a symptom of bhakti involved in this, but on the other side, Krishna is liking it as well. So it looks like this is bhakti, but it's just looking like that, but it is not bhakti. It is not bhakti. I will repeat once again, then not. Last time. Charur Mushti, they are two wrestlers. They have huge body. They like covered Krishna like this, and they wanted to attack Krishna. Krishna is liking it. Thakurji is liking it. So, but since even though Krishna is liking it, it cannot be called bhakti because to please Krishna is not bhakti. What is bhakti? Coming to the next point. You will understand this in next point actually. And Yashoda Maiya, she takes Krishna on her lap and she feeds him her milk, breast milk. And on the other side, there is a stove, and on that stove there is milk boiling, and milk is like boiling and falling, coming out. Does this happen in your house, in your kitchen? The milk over boils and it like flows. So the milk comes at the top of the vessel, and if you don't turn off the gas, then what happens? The milk falls on the fire, which is not considered very nice in India. It is considered as bad omen, inauspicious, if the milk falls on the fire, on this gas. But this is just one point. Yashoda Maiya, there is a one scene we understood is of Charur Mushti, and in the other scene, Yashoda Maiya is feeding Krishna, feeding milk to Krishna, and in the front, in the kitchen, there's milk which is over boiling and falling on the fire. So Yashoda Maiya just left Krishna on the ground, unsatisfied, and she ran towards the milk to save the milk for Krishna. Now, this activity of Yashoda Maiya is not ruchika to Krishna. It's not pleasing to Krishna. Krishna is crying here. Krishna is not pleased here. He is angry, and out of anger, his lips are shaking, trembling. You know, when we get anger, our lips, they shake. Those who are short-tempered, they can understand. You can look at them when they get angry and they actually shiver. Krishna is so small and he's in anger and his lips are shaking. He's really He's not acting, he's actually feeling anger. Why? My mother, she doesn't care for me and she cares for the milk. She cares more for the milk than me. She left me to save the milk. My mother. So this point Krishna did not like it. He did not like it. His lips are shivering, shaking. Sanjat Spirita. This one shlok with Maharaj is speaking. Here Yashoda Maya, the activity of Yashoda Maya is aruchikar, unpleasing. Not ruchikar, aruchikar. This is not vyapt in the definition of bhakti. This activity, Krishna is not liking it. My mother left me and went to save the milk. Means here, in in the definition of bhakti, a vyapti fault can be seen. Which a vyapti fault means which Krishna doesn't like. Krishna doesn't like. Now, two examples I told you. One of demons, Charu Mushti, and another of Yashoda Maya. Anushilan activity. In both of these activities, Ati Vyapti and Avyapti faults can be seen. Ati Vyapti means Charu Mushti, Mushtik, and Avyapti like Yashoda Maya. These faults can be seen. Both of these faults, to end these faults, this word anukulina, this is used in this definition of bhakti by Rupa Goswami. This is very secret. Um, Ativyapti and avyapti, these faults, for these two faults, this word anukulina, Krishna Anushilan has been used by Rupa Goswami. I think Maharaj is checking some settings in his phone. Okay. So to make it more easier, Maharaj was searching something for us to may help us understand it easier. Ati Vyapti. What is this fault of Ati Vyapti? Those who understand English, is overextension, underextension. In Ati Vyapti is overextension. When the definition is too wide, it encompasses things which are not to be included in the description. This is Ati Vyapti. And avyapti means when the definition is too narrow, it excludes things which should be including within the description. This is how Maharaj actually spoke. Just same word as it is in English. This is Adi Vyapti and Avyapti faults. Dosh. Dosh means false. So to fix these faults, Anukulina word has been used in this verse. Pratikul means unfavorable. Those things which are not favorable for bhakti, those objects, if they become zero, can we call it bhakti? No, that cannot be called bhakti. Let's understand this again. Do not commit offenses towards Guru, towards deities, towards Vaishnavas, towards the Dham. These are unfavorable for bhakti. Pratikul means unfavorable. So only, only and only pratikul, unfavorable. If you be means don't do the aparad towards Guru, Dham, Vaishnavas and Naam, holy name. But not to do this is called bhakti. Just by doing this, can we say I'm doing bhakti? So making pratikul zero, making unfavorable circumstances as zero is not bhakti. You have to be saved from these unfavorable situations, but then they themselves are not bhakti. We have not to. We have to make all these unfavorable situations zero, nullify them, but they are not called bhakti. As per this siddhant, the demons always are, they always, we can see they have jealousy always. That's why, means, the demons, they always think about their happiness, and because of that they are jealous of Krishna. They fight with Krishna, with the Lord. And even though that is liked by Krishna, Krishna likes fighting, but their intention is not to give anand, pleasure, satisfaction to Krishna. That's why this is called Ati Vyapti Dosh. Their intention is wrong, completely wrong. Ati Vyapti, fault. That's why this Anushilan is not bhakti. Here, Anukulina means to become free from Pratikul Bhav. Anukulina Krishna Anushilanam. Here, Anukul word means all the unfavorable situations or objects, you remove all of them. But simultaneously, you also do something favorable for Krishna's Anand, Krishna's pleasure. Do not commit, not committing offenses is not called bhakti. Only doing seva is called bhakti. There is a fine line difference between these two concepts. Not to commit aparad and also to simultaneously do services. Yashoda Maiya, in the efforts of Yashoda Maiya and the activity of Yashoda Maiya, externally it looks unfavorable, pratikulta. Externally, she lifted up Krishna from her lap and she put him aside, and in that she is not seeing the but because she is not jealous of Krishna, she wants to serve Krishna, Lalan Palan. She wants to nurture him. In essence, Yashoda Maiya's mood externally looks unfavorable for Krishna's pleasure, but internally, what is her mood? What is her intention? In her mind, the idea is to serve Krishna, to nourish Krishna. This is her internal mood. Externally, the activity is looking unfavorable. But her intention is completely favorable. But Charu Mushti, the wrestlers, eh, externally they are looking very favorable for Krishna, but internally their intention is to hurt Krishna. That's why there is fault in their intention. So anyone who explains this verse in Hari Katha, if you speak this verse of, then you definitely have to explain this concept. Anukul means what here? You have to explain, then your lecture will have gravity to make people understand this, that externally and internally, what is the difference in external and internal of Yashoda Maiya's mood and the moods of the demons, Charu and Mushti. This is from the definition Anebhlashita Shunyam, which we heard yesterday. So here they are saying, uh, oh, So Maharaj is saying that first, let me hear him first, and then I will explain. Devotees, they have a natural thing. The ingredients which are used to serve Krishna, the devotees have more preeti and love towards those ingredients which are used for Krishna's service. They love Krishna, they love Thakurji, but those things which are connected to Krishna, paraphernalia, which are used to serve Krishna, the devotees also see those things with lots of preeti. Example, one small example. There is a child here. Pitaji did arti, and that lamp he put aside. That lamp is now over, means it's over. And while walking, by mistake, that child touched the lamp with his foot. The lamp which is of metal, which has which has cotton. So it's a metal stand which is used for arti. When he was walking, he touched by mistake. By mistake, he touched his feet with the lamp, metal lamp. Then the child, what he did pranam to that dandavat, to that metal lamp. And seeing things like this, our heart feels so happy. Now this pranam is not to the metal, it's to that instrument which is used in the service of the Lord, which is used for if you don't have geese, that metal lamp, how will you offer aarti to Thakurji? Will you put that cotton batti on your palm and offer aarti to Thakurji like this? No, we need that metal lamp. But because that object is used in Krishna's service, it's an instrument. It's respectful. So, Shri Vigre, Harinam, holy name, and Bhagwan, we have Priti for all these, right? Bhagwan, Harinam, but we have more Priti for Mridanga, Krital, Mridanga, Thakurji's utensils, his glass. You can't just throw his utensils like that in some ordinary way. You have more Priti for all these objects which are used in the service of the Lord, for Archan, for Bhoga, for Aarti. And we see in kitchen, devotees' kitchen, you you wash your plate in the kitchen, but Thakurji's plate, Thakurji will be offered for Thakurji's plate. Devotees may keep a different soap and a different cleaner for Thakurji's plate. So even the children knows in the house that which cleaner is used for Thakurji's plate. It's a different cleaner. So sometimes if guests come, or just to train children, they put a tag there. Krishna soap, Jiva soap. Krishna soap, Jiva soap. Jiva means us. Jiv Atma. And Krishna means the Lord. Jiva soap and Krishna soap. So this is done out of respect. Out of respect, Samman. All those objects which are used for the service of the Lord, they are respectful for us. This is the point explained here. Initially, what we heard about the milk pastime, with milk, Krishna can be nurtured. He can be fed properly. With this intention, with this mood, Krishna, Yashoda Maya left Krishna and went to save milk. That's why her intention is called bhakti. The milk which was boiling on the stove, and it was so boiling, it was over boiling, and it was coming out from the vessel and just about to fall on the fire. But that milk can be used to serve Krishna. With my milk, Shoda Maya is thinking, she's saying, my milk Krishna can drink anytime. But this milk which is boiling on the gas, with this milk Krishna, I can make sandesh for Krishna, the sweets for Krishna, rabdi, Indian sweets. So this milk is an instrument, upkaran, instrument for Krishna's service. That's why today Yashoda Maya, through this pastime, showing us a big siddhant. Which siddhant she established here, that more than Krishna, the objects for Krishna's service are more significant, more than even Krishna. More than Krishna, these objects are more significant. These which objects which are used for Krishna's service. When we understand this point, and we follow it, means we are advancing in bhakti. And some people think, oh, Thakurji is a Sri Murti, Vigrah. That's ultimate. Leaving that, everything else is just useless apart from Thakurji. Others are just devotees, they are just humans. They are just humans, they are insane. Humans are insane, whatever it is. They are humans also, they are insane also. But only Krishna is everything. So Rupa Goswami in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Rupa Goswami said they are Kanisht Adhikari. Those who think like this, they are Kanisht Adhikari. Those who consider Krishna's Vigraha is everything, and whatever objects are used for Krishna's service, and all other devotees are just useless, means small, are not important, not significant, then that devotee is Kanish Adhikari. But as we advance in bhakti, more than Krishna, we have priti, respect for those objects which are used for Krishna's service. Krishna's devotees, the Vaishnavas, we get more respect for them in our heart. From this, you can understand the maturity level of that devotee who gives more respect to devotees, how much advanced they are. This is a symptom actually. The wife of Shiva's Pandit is who? What's her name? Malini Devi. Malini Devi, she makes very nice food preparations for Thakurji and she offers to her Thakurji. One day when Bhoga was offered, and that plate of Thakurji and bowl of Thakurji was lying outside, and one crow came. Crow. And okay, the crow lifted that plate and bowl, and it went away in the sky. And Malini Devi started shouting. The crow took away the plate of Thakurji. She was shouting like this. And Nityanand Prabhu came there at that time, and he instructed the crow, "Oh, you come here, and give back my bowl and plate." By the order of Nityanand Prabhu, the crow came back and left the plate there. So someone can think, what is the matter? It's just a plate and a bowl. But Malini Devi here is giving us a big lesson. This plate and bowl is very respectful for us. More than even Thakurji, more than even Krishna. What is Dham? Dham is also an instrument for Krishna's service. Dham. That's why the service of Dham is important. You have Mridanga, and you have to carry it from one corner to another corner. Will you carry the Mridanga, move the Mridanga with your feet? Can you do that? Why? It's just a Mridanga. It's just an instrument. It's just made out of mud. And it has leather. It's just an ordinary instrument. Will you do that? Will you move the mridanga or kartal? Kartal is just a metal. It's just a metal. So let's move it with our legs. Never touch it by mistake with your feet. If you do by mistake, offer pranam to these instruments. This giving this respect is called bhakti. That's why Yashoda Maiya uh, is actually offending Krishna, unpleasing Krishna, but still externally it's looking unfavorable. Internally it's very much anukul, favorable for Krishna. It's bhakti. This effort of Yashoda Maya is bhakti. This endeavor, this effort, this activity of Yashoda Maya is true bhakti. This is bhakti. Anukulina Krishna Anushilanam. Bhaktir Uttama. Someone who understands this point, this siddhant properly, they can understand. Many people learn this verse, but they do not know the details, which we will hear in this Granth, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu Bindu. Anabhilashita Shunyam, Gyan Karm Adya Anavritam, Anukulina Krishna Anushilanam, Bhakti Uttama. So, we just heard the Sarup Lakshan of this verse till now, prime reason, Sarup Lakshan. Then we will hear Tathastha Lakshan. So what we heard today, what we learned today, in this verse there are two faults. In this verse, Ati Vyapti, Avyapti Dosh. These faults, to remove these faults, Anukul word has been used by Rupa Goswami, and to explain these, help us understand this easier, he gave us examples of Charu Mushti and Yashoda Maya, what her love is for Krishna. Okay, I have house program here today. I have to rush. I just got a message during Harikatha. There is a program. Please come, please join, Maharaj. Just now. Let's end here today. For now, for today. Tomorrow will there won't be Harikatha because the program tomorrow. Friday we will connect. All glories to Shri Bhakti. Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Sorry for the inconvenience. Maharaj is saying like this. Hare Krishna, dear devotees.